Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's race here at Phoenix for the Prestige Truck Series. I am Jacob Cole in the booth, as always, with the Universal Broadcasting Network, and it's not a full race tonight. I mean, we have 15 trucks or so. Not sure how many are starting, likely 14. But before we get started with everything, I just want to take a minute to point out what's happening tonight is essentially, I don't know if he's here right now, but James Jones will be filling in for Frank Skimmerhorn tonight, and likely, or I don't know how long, but Frank Skimmerhorn was got into a bad accident, and he's pretty hurt, so it's really sad. My condolences up for Frank and his family and everything, so help support him in any way he can. But James Jones will be filling in for him tonight, or drive his truck as a tribute, so to say. Not necessarily filling in, but driving his truck as a tribute towards him, and I think that's really cool. But all these cars, they are getting gridded up, and yeah, I just once again want to send Frank our prayers, and we'll be thinking about him. And see if James can do something with that tribute truck tonight if he grids up. Don't know where he's at, but should be here from what I know. All right, well, lots of trucks getting on the grid. We're getting ready to go. We are gridding here. Countdown to the grid is running out, so we're going to go to our starting order. Wyatt Thompson starting from the pits. So starting on pole position is Jordan Fisher this time out. Your last week's, I think, second place finisher. He was really strong at Vegas, so, I mean, we had to do a short track at Phoenix this week, and we'll see what he can do. He qualifies it on pole. Tyler Helms, always good in the trucks, qualifies as second right beside Jordan Fisher. Third, Wyatt Thompson, but he started from the pits. So Kendorian Davis moves up into third. Rooster Rodden is in fourth. It's going to be Blair Saunders in fifth. Peter Hoppy in sixth. Joseph Enright in eighth. Jeffrey Herrick in seventh. Martin Martucci in 10th. J.J. Moore in ninth, and so on. James E. Jones filling in for Frank Skimmerhorn, but I do not see him, unfortunately. I wish he would be out here right now. But anyways, we're getting this race going, and Jordan Fisher leads us from the pole to the auto parts restart zone here in Phoenix between the two white lines, and we're underway, firing off the 39 of Fisher, underway from Phoenix. Down into turn one. It's always chaotic down here in Phoenix, making lunges everywhere. Blair Saunders in third, trying to get around Rooster Rodden in fourth. He is around him, and Rooster Rodden into the wall a little bit, and there's one spinner in the back. I think that's Jeffrey Herrick. Tyler Helms went down pit road, serving a penalty, and Jordan Fisher will lead lap number one. Yeah, Kendorian Davis already moving into second place here into lap number two. Blair Saunders is a guy we didn't really talk about much last week. Talked about him a decent amount at Daytona towards the end, but it just didn't seem like the train wanted to continue. Yeah, a lot of unfamiliar competitors for tonight's race. Ooh, one hard in the wall in the back. I don't know who that was, but they absolutely clobbered the wall behind them. Kendorian just searching for a little bit of grip here. Everyone's getting settled in for the race. Tyler Helms, car threatened to go a lap down, did his drive-through, served his penalty. It's Phoenix. I mean, there's certain to be cautions at some point, and hopefully this does not affect Tyler in the long run, and Many of these drivers are hoping it does affect Tyler in the long run because they don't want to have to deal with all that. Gives them a free spot. They're perfectly content with it. But, man, Fisher, 7/10 up, just running away with this one. Yeah, I would not have thought to... Well, I mean, obviously, he was very strong at the end at Las Vegas, just did not have the proper strategy. And, obviously, teammate work helped out Tyler. And, you know, obviously, the Mach 5 crew here, they had a lot of teamwork going on there. But Fisher's just kind of been beat-bopping around on his own. But he's had no problem doing it. I mean, already pulling out to a second gap, 5 laps in. I mean, some could argue he's pushing. Some could argue he's going to fall off long run. But honestly, sometimes you just know what you're doing. Yeah, a little bit of battles further on, a little bit closer in between. It's going to be Joseph Enright going to the bottom of Rooster Rodden into turn 1 and 2. Clears him coming out of turn 2. Rooster trying to form up a little bit of a run out of turn 2. Not able to do it. It's the 07 going into 4th. Saunders just trying to find any advantage he can on Condorian. Looked like he got a little bit tight into 3 there. You just see all the sparks shoot underneath their cars or their trucks. You know, because Phoenix is such a rough transition down in that dog leg going underneath. But, you know, it gains you a lot of time, so it's worth the risk. Well, to many people's eyes at least, it is definitely worth the risk. Not much else happening in the field. Maybe a little stray Peter Hoppy here trying to go into the top 5 and maybe catch Rooster a little bit. But everyone else back here is a little bit more content. We go to Wyatt Thompson. He started from the pits. A little bit more content further back here. Not much going on. Closest battle on track is the 6th or 5th spot, which would be Peter Hoppy and Rooster Rodden. All 3 of them up to 4th are within 3/10 of each other and trying to make possibly a battle happen later. You know, just hunkering in here, you know, just saving for the long run, seeing what they can do later. But yeah, it's just Phoenix, bunch of single file racing, and tires do come in later in the run. You would be shocked. There's plenty of tire strategy here at Phoenix. Just track's not degrading like, you know, for example, Auto Club or Darlington, but the track definitely does have a weird characteristic to it, and it definitely favors having that right front tire on your truck, especially on the flat surface. You need to have all the grip you can have. And certainly so far, it seems like a couple of these trucks, you know, 10 laps in, not falling off too much yet, but there is definitely some fall off that will happen 25 laps in that will be very noticeable. It's just Fisher's just pulling away. I mean, it's like he's not. I don't even know if he's pushing or not, but he's a 10th faster than Condorian that last lap, so he might be in some way. So he's already out to a 2-second advantage here on lap number 11, coming to 12. Helms still at risk of going a lap down, and man, you got Kyle Busch on the hood there. Got a Kyle Busch hood, and what is this? Just an M&M's truck. I gotta get a closer zoom in on this. Hold on, I gotta see if I can find out. It'll get to him once we go by the front stretch. But I think, is that Kyle Busch on the back of his truck too? Because I want to see, is that Kurt or Kyle? I think that's Kyle Busch with an M. Yeah, it's a Kyle Busch with an M&M's. All right, well, Tyler's doing something, but we got a battle for 3rd. It's Joseph Enright right on the bumper of Blair Saunders, and Joseph Enright just trying to fish the run out of turn 2. Lost a little bit of time there in 1 and 2, but Enright nonetheless trying to search for some pace here to get into the 3rd position and get on that podium at the moment. You know, Blair's watching a little bit wide, and Enright really there. He does capitalize a lot, cutting the dog leg. You can see he gained a little bit of time as they go into turn 1. Just got to make sure you don't make it too shallow. And Enright's going to be higher up in the turn. Dirty air not going to matter much here. He's going to have to run out of turn 2. Now going towards turn 3. Saunders pulls a little bit of a block. Enright right behind Saunders. Little wider, trying to set up a run towards the dogleg. Trying to get the run out of turn number 4, down to the dogleg. Once again, these two go, trying to battle for third. Swinging their trucks down to the bottom and trying to swing it out wide to the top. It's the name of the game here at Phoenix. Enright just seems to be getting the run off turn 2, but he's got to make something capitalize going into 3. We're still early on, so these two are probably considering that. Obviously, it's only a 70-lap race, which is relatively short for Phoenix, but big mistake from Saunders, allowing Enright to get all the way to the bottom. But I guess Blair Saunders just pulled away enough out of turn 4 that he just wasn't a factor. I guess there's no need for defensive driving just yet, I guess. It's just about being able to save tires effectively right now, because I think you can almost make it the entire way on gas. If not, you can. I don't know 100% what the fuel situation is like, but it's gonna be a one-stopper if they have to pit for gas. So if they have to pit for gas, it's definitely a race. They might not even have to pit for gas. Like I said, it's one of those tracks where, get a large fuel tank. This truck doesn't use a lot of fuel. And, could come down to a fuel mileage race if it's that close, which I don't know. But yeah, Fisher pulled away. He's gone. You see Kendorian in the back coming out of turn number 2 as Fisher's going into 3 and already pulled out to a 2.5-second gap. Kendorian actually went faster than Fisher on that last lap time at the line now. Kendorian Davis faster than Jordan Fisher, so starting to put on the pressure after Kendorian probably saved a little bit of tire. Starting to reel in Jordan Fisher. I think that's definitely the race strategy almost the entire time for Kendorian Davis. I mean, I would expect it, but Rooster Rod, and he wants 4th back. Looks inside, down on Joseph Enright into 3, but nothing sticked. He followed back behind the 07. They race towards the dogleg. It's a 3-car battle here. 3 pigs under a blanket going into 1. Because they're all within about 4/10 of each other total. Taking a middle lane here. Rodden, Enright, Blair Saunders, all 3 of them trying to figure out what to do with their race. And Kendorian's still gaining subtle lap time on Jordan Fisher out front. Rodden goes a little bit wide, trying to carry some exit momentum. Peter Hoppy looking on behind, trying to scope out what he can do if he gets there. Rooster runs all over the back bumper at Enright. I should point that out every time we go into 1. It's like he sends it in, but he does not have enough for exit every time. And, I mean, that's by design. Sometimes, when you dive it in on someone on entry, you're not always going to have the exit that you really need. It's not really how it works. You got to set up your corner to be neutral for everything, and that's usually how you'll find the best speed. And, of course, every track is different. Phoenix here, it may be sacrificing a little bit of the bottom to go to the top and form a run off turn 2 for speed. I mean, that's just how it is in the trucks. It's different for every track, and that's why most tracks are loved in NASCAR, as many of their unique characteristics of the track and the line, and Phoenix is certainly one of them. Don't get me wrong. Phoenix, you drive this track much more different than any other intermediate you will ever see. It is so much different. Sometimes you'll even see guys pulling slide jobs. Whoa, hard into the wall. Blair Saunders out of turn 2. And then Enright's going to try and capitalize on that going into 3. I think Saunders right front is starting to go away like a little bit, like I was predicting around that 20 to 25 range. Enright to the inside. Lost my train of thought. But Phoenix is certainly one of them tracks. It's unique. Enright trying to get that run off turn 2, but Blair Saunders has that top, so it's going to win every time out of turn 2. Now, turns 3 and 4, you could definitely make it stick on the outside. You just have to pin that guy to the inside and make sure he does not get the run off. Same could be said about almost any track or any move or any passing opportunity. But Phoenix, it's it's harder to execute than most other tracks, honestly. But, you know, Enright battling with Rodden right now. But Rodden, like I said, he has the top. So you get to see that runoff every single time out of turn 2. Seem to be neck and neck at the minute. And that's drawing Peter Hoppy into this battle. And see what I said? Rodden, you can definitely get that run off of turn number 4. Rodden takes 4th place back. And now he's setting his sights on the 3rd car of Blair Saunders. Hoppy has closed in a little bit. Now only 4/10 behind the 07 truck of Joseph Enright. Hoppy's just looking for a move, looking for something out of turn 2, losing a little bit of time. Took a much more shallow line than everyone else, and you can clearly see paid the price on exit. And Kendorian Davis slowly but surely catching Jordan Fisher, about a 1.8 second gap now. Do not know what the kind of situation is with those cars, what they're going to do. But Blair Saunders in the wall. No, not him in the wall. It's Jeffrey Herrick. No, yep, Jeffrey Herrick in the wall. He goes a lap down. Stays in the wall in front of the lap car, or in front of the lead lap cars. And Herrick just, he knocked that wall down. Rodden trying to get to Blair Saunders. Clearly has the better truck at the moment. Played back, laid back, did all the above. Now he's on the bottom going into turn 2. Definitely going to have to run off. Saunders will, but going into turn 3, you know, we're going to start seeing a little bit of a shakeup as seems Rooster Rodden has put on the gas as he's laid back and saved some tire, and now he's using it out to try and dish out some positions on these trucks. And he's pulled away from Joseph Enright. Enright's just falling further and further back. Hoppy's just maintaining that gap at the moment. And, you know, Wyatt Thompson further back. Herrick just right behind those 2 trucks of specifically the truck of Hoppy, the 25. So many of these guys are, you know, seeing the strategies unfold, and, you know, Fisher ran about the same lap time as Kendorian Davis that time by. Gap closed down to a 1.2 at the moment, but that's sure to change coming out of turn 2, as it was a 1.5 at the line, but now it's getting closer and closer almost every lap for Kendorian Davis. Rodden just still right behind the number 98 of Blair Saunders, trying to get a move to work. Saunders parks it in front on exit, and Rodden's going to fake him out and go low. Racing towards turn number 1. These 2 trucks are trying to battle neck and neck for 3rd. Rodden throws a little bit of a slide job into turn 2, and Rodden has position number 3. But Saunders cross over to the bottom towards turn 3. These 2 trucks trying to find everything they have. Lap cars in front, obviously. Yeah, Tyler Helms trying not to go a lap down to Jordan Fisher, as there's been a green flag race. So it's been really unfortunate for Tyler Helms, as, you know, he is not on the friendly side of everything else. Definitely not on the friendly side. You know, last week's winner, a little bit of penalties were given to Tyler Helms, but, you know, this week he, you know, he's in the back because, you know, you got penalties early on. You see Kendorian Davis closing in. They're about neck and neck on lap time now. No one's gaining, no one's losing, but Rooster Rodden's pulling away from Blair Saunders and Peter Hoppy, pulling away from both of those trucks. But Wyatt Thompson from the pit start already up to 6th and trying to charge up for Peter Hoppy with a lot of pace left in that truck. He's at a 28.482. The leaders are running, for reference, a 28.609 and a 28.792, just for reference. So Wyatt Thompson has saved his tires a little bit. Now he's making a charge for the top 5 after starting in the pits for this race. Yeah, Saunders lost that position to Rooster Rodden, and Rooster Rodden is also running in the 28.478. You can clearly see he saved his tires well, and I don't know how long they will last, but we're halfway through this race. No clue what the fuel mileage will look like for this race. that's what makes it all the more exciting. Could see random pit strategies anywhere. Blair Saunders trying to figure something out. You know, his truck, he's pretty much accepted by this point that, you know, my truck is not driving well. My tires got burnt up. But Wyatt Thompson's not accepting that at all. He's on down for Peter Hoppy right now in the 25 there, trying to go into the top 5. Hoppy was making progress on those 2 cars before, but he's kind of just fell off a little bit further back. But Helms now, he's making his way up to P number 8 to Martin Martucci, with obviously the leader right behind him. So he's probably a little scared. That's probably influencing him to push a little bit, get out in front. You know, this pit cycle is honestly going to determine if Tyler finishes this race a lap down or not. He's fast, but I don't know. Just when you get put in a tough situation like that, you really need a yellow, and doesn't seem like anything's falling his way this race. Thompson still a 28.433, catching on Peter Hoppy. About a 10th down out of turn 2 on Hoppy. Hoppy's just trying to find some speed, but Wyatt Thompson sends it underneath down on the dogleg, trying to find some time. Found about a 10th on that straightaway. Thompson trying to reel in Hoppy. He's got the much better grip. You can clearly see it. Dirty air blocking a little bit from Peter Hoppy to try and get the 77 out of his rear view. And he's going to be catching him on. Rooster Rodden still out in front, one of the fastest cars on track at the moment, other than Wyatt Thompson. And no, last lap, Rooster Rodden was the fastest fastest car on track. Thompson all the way to the wall. You'll see that with the truck sometimes here. You just got to get that exit speed, and you can clearly see it here in full force. Thompson trying to make a run down Peter Hoppy down the backstretch. You can see the dive there. And Rodden is hauling the mail. He is trying to catch Kendorian Davis. Does not want to let Jordan Fisher run away with this race. Yeah, Rodden just riding around, getting a little bit of time every lap, and it's interesting to see. Honestly, lost a little bit there with a little bit of a mistake, but yeah, Thompson and Hoppy battling. Hoppy trying to fight back on Wyatt Thompson after he made a pass. Thompson up to the top. Hoppy trying to send it in the center, trying to restrict what Thompson's doing by forming the run, and Thompson clear for the top 5 after starting from the pit road. So this makes it very impressive, and now he's going to head for Blair Saunders in 4th to even try and nab a 4th spot. He's on the move right now. Lap 43. Not many laps to go, honestly, more than halfway through the race, as I have said. But it just does not seem like, you know, some of these guys have fallen off as bad as others, obviously, and Blair Saunders is just one of those trucks that has fallen off a lot. But Joseph Enright right behind those two, he pitted. Joseph Enright pitted. So they might have to do a pit stop this race because Joseph Enright pitted. He's got tires. I assume he took gas. And now Enright, yeah, a couple cars on pit roads. Kendorian Davis. Kendorian Davis going down pit road. There are some pit cycles here under green. Helms has gone a lap down, but rightfully so too now because, well, pit cycles. You know, if there's a caution now, he's really trapped and done for the race. So you gotta hope these guys are on their best behaviors, don't wreck the truck. Jordan Fisher, number 39 truck, trying to get past Martin Martucci, and yes, he does. Fisher gotta be coming sometime soon because, well, you know, them tires, they play a lot. And, you know, with about, there you go, going down pit road, taking taking it all the way with that cut down to pit road, and that's a smart decision from Jordan Fisher. Got to pit when you can. Learn that from the road. Whoa! Almost speeding into pit road. Learn that from the Roval. You know, made a late, costly pit, and, you know, did not reward him with a victory. But this time, he pits around everyone else, just being a little bit more cautious, not trying to play a long-run game, and especially with around 25 laps to go, those tires will definitely hold up relatively well, even especially when you're pushing. So Rooster Rod in the lead. At the moment, playing a little bit of a long ball game, so is Blair Saunders. If I was Blair Saunders, I would have pitted about 2 laps ago, honestly, but I was falling off that bad because I would not want to stay out on the track if my truck was not good, where I could just go to the pits, restart, and possibly save myself a little bit. But Fisher, obviously, a lap down now with the trucks. Trying to trap one under, maybe. Joseph Enright a lap down. Rooster and Rod in your leader, but he comes down pit road. Saunders going to inherit the lead, going to try and lead a lap. Still playing the long ball game, going to have about 20 laps, probably about 20 qualifying laps. I would assume around 20 to go is the latest you can pit. You know, just trying to set just straight qualifying laps for the rest of the time, and Fisher goes past it for the lead, obviously, or trying to at least. And I never noticed, but Kendorian Davis is right beside, no, that's Peter Hoppy. So Peter Hoppy must have had something happen to him. Right, Peter Hoppy right there, and Jordan Fisher got around him. Kendorian Davis actually did not get quite the pit stop I would have expected from him, because, you know, them tires, they should work wonders, but didn't really do much for catching Jordan Fisher. So, I mean, what Fisher did was very, very smart. So, you know, just coming down, you know you have the lead, you know you have time, you know the long ball game's not going to work, so you just come down, get 4 fresh tires, and seems like that's what Fisher's done, and it's working out for him. So he isn't trapped a lap down anymore. Kendorian Davis on the bubble, but Blair Saunders from the lead, he does pit, and or not from the lead necessarily, but Peter Hoppy is still staying out on track, still trying to play the long run game. Just going to try and knock out around 20 straight qualifying laps, I would guess. Yeah, just Kendorian getting past his teammate, and Peter Hoppy's going to the pit road now. If I'm not mistaken, Jordan Fisher is... No, Joseph Enright, maybe. Yes, Joseph Enright is the provisional leader. He pitted way earlier than everybody else, so his tires are definitely going to be significantly more worn. And as, you know, Fisher's making a run for Enright, but Enright is the provisional leader after Reeve Simmons comes down pit road. And obviously Peter Hoppy down in pit road now, seeing what he can do for a pit stop strategy. As Reeve Simmons from the lead, he's going to be the last one to pit, and he's going to come down pit road now from your leader, almost hitting the inside wall on entry. But yeah, Joseph Enright, your provisional leader at the moment. Now, Jordan Fisher could nab the lead from him this lap and not let him lead a lap, which that would be sickening to see for those 7, as those bonus points go a long way. As Reeve Simmons is obviously in the pit road, and don't think he's going to reach the line before Enright and them do. So Enright out of 4. It's going to be close to the line, and never mind. But Enright, he does lead this lap. Your provisional leader at the moment. But Jordan Fisher is hot on his heels. Got around 15 or so fresher lap tires. And yeah, gets stuck behind the lap car, Martin Bertucci, and allows Fisher to just go right down on the inside. Clean 2 for 1. Jordan Fisher to the lead of this race with around, I don't know, 16, 17 to go. So a couple of these guys so far, especially Jordan Fisher, is just laid in for the long haul, and he's doing a great job. Kendorian Davis didn't lose any time comparatively on the pit stops, honestly. Slightly older tires for Kendorian Davis, so Fisher has the upper hand in terms of time and tires and everything. So, but Kendorian, you know, he's always hungry. He wants to pick up a win here, and still in third. That's not a bad spot. It's really not a bad spot whatsoever. Kendorian Davis just trying to buy his time, trying to catch up to Joseph Enright. Pretty much have a guaranteed P2 if he can just get to the back of the 07. And yeah, down to the inside of Martin Martucci. Kendorian Davis is going to go. So yeah, so now we have 14 laps to go in this race, and nothing really heated up this race. It's just one of them generic Phoenix races, you know. You see a lot of green flag running and, you know, pit work strategy, and Jordan Fisher's done it right today so far. Led, I don't even know how many laps, but I guarantee you it's more than 80% of the race. He's been on it today. You know, always on it. Even in the Cup side, does a very good job, and seems like he comes out to any car here and just drives away with it, and very nicely. Which, speaking of cars, is the this series owned by Kendorian Davis will be, and JJ Moore will be switching to the Legacy Xfinity car. When, we do not know. They said it could either be an emergency mid-season swap if it's needed, or, you know, obviously they're going to switch to it next season. So trucks, honestly, 3 races in, already being called off and being switched to a car not many people on the service use. You know, a very nice car from NASCAR standards. What a major cut, the dog leg. You know, a series that is not very, or a car that's not very widely used in NASCAR racing anymore on iRacing. So them just getting the setups made by, I would assume, a setup shop, and Kendorian said they're already on the way, and you know, we're going to see those next season firing off. So it's very nice to see that. Yeah, Fisher still in the lead by around 2 seconds to second, with coming to 10 to go on this race, and it's certainly been a calm one. Definitely not been any, I would say, major. Yeah, not any major, you know, crazy stuff. Just looking at some events here that happened in the session. Jeffrey Herrick coming off of pit road. Slow merger, I guess. But definitely not a good day for that team. The 49 of Jeffrey Herrick. Definitely not a good day. Is dead last, 2 laps down. I mean, just trying to salvage something as we got a race for second, and Kendorian Davis, has to be expected, just gets past Joseph Enright with the tires, and it wasn't even a question. But Wyatt Thompson now hunting for third from the pits. You know, green flag racing from flag to flag. Wyatt Thompson's pulled off a little bit of heroics here at the end. Yeah, definitely closing in on Enright really, really fast. Both of them, honestly, Kendorian and Joseph Enright. And Wyatt Thompson is the fastest car on track, just does not have the time to go out and catch Jordan Fisher. Might be able to nab out a P2 if he plays it right. But he's in the wall a little bit, pushing a little hard as he's trying to catch to the back of the 07 into turn 3. You can just see the lunge is much more effective. Finding that run off the corner, actually stayed about the same gap before. And Wyatt Thompson obviously just trying to search for any kind of good finish he can get with a pit lane start. Thompson, you can just see him getting down that yellow line, trying to find a little bit of grip with that left front. Down into turn 3, peeks his nose out, runs it a little wide, setting for an exit off of turn 4. Enright parking it a little bit, not letting him get underneath, but Wyatt Thompson does anyway. They race through the dogleg, but Wyatt Thompson at the moment has the optimal line going into turn number 1. These two fighting side by side. Thompson is clear, but Enright trying to forge a run off of turn number 2, maybe trying to do the crossover to turn number 3. Trying to side draft down the backstretch. Enright trying to send one down in 3, but Wyatt Thompson with the better tires nabs him out into P3. 5 to go on this race. Jordan Fisher has pretty much been the provisional leader from flag to flag. There has been no question about the strength of that 39 truck tonight. He's had absolutely no problem in the long run, absolutely no problem in the short run. And he just had a good strategy, you know, just made sure he didn't let himself fall too far behind when the cars behind him pitted. Because there's about 4 to go. Jordan Fisher coming to 3 to go. Team Connie Sim Performance, truck right there with Hardy Designs. Come out here in Phoenix and give everyone a show. Earlier was polled if they wanted to switch to Charlotte. I bet Fisher's real happy right now. You know, even though everyone was voting Charlotte, they still kept it Phoenix just for tonight. And I bet Fisher's probably happy the track didn't change. So you get a track like this where, you know, draft is not much of a factor for these trucks, and you'll get these spread out races where you really let everything show. And you see drivers like Wyatt Thompson, all them come out, but Kendorian Davis blinking a little bit in that second position. He's all good, but Thompson's trying to hunt him down. You just see all the skill come out when you have these kind of races. Now Jordan Fisher with 2 to go here. Going into turn 3. Through the restart zone, and Jordan Fisher, flag to flag, no cautions. White flag is out from Phoenix. Fisher has ran a great race today. Absolutely incredible. Definitely the most dominant performance this season up to this point. It's only the 3rd race, but so much more is to come for this team, especially on the cup level. If they get things sorted out, they will be race winners sooner than enough. Off of turn 4, Jordan Fisher dominates flag to flag at Phoenix. Your winner in Phoenix International, Jordan Fisher in number 39, wins in Phoenix in the Prestige Truck Series. What a win tonight. And Jordan Fisher, absolutely dominating performance from the 39 truck. And Wyatt Thompson comes home P3 after a pit lane start. And Tyler Helms, P9 across the line, wrecks himself. Probably not happy with the result due to the penalty, and that happens. You'd think there'd be more wrecks, but didn't happen. So Jordan Fisher, dominating victory here for Grumpy Motorsports, and just went from flag to flag and led this entire thing and did a great job doing it too. Burning it down from Phoenix, your winners in the Prestige Truck Series. 39 all over the Cup Series logo. Does not care. Gonna go park it up in the victory lane here at Phoenix, because they have that modeled in iRacing on Phoenix. There's only a few tracks that have that, so winning at a track like this is always nice for that reason. What a victory for the number 39 truck. Quick race tonight. Around 40 minutes long, I would say, about the race. Yeah, I mean, it was a 70-lap race at Phoenix. It's always going to be shorter. And, yeah, Jordan Fisher done with this. Burnout's your winner at Phoenix tonight. Going to see these guys start to file enter the interview waiting room. We're about to get interviews underway for, you know, your race winner, you know, your second-place finisher, and your third-place finisher, if they want to go into the waiting room. See if Fisher's in there, but we're going to hold off a little bit because, you know, obviously we got to wait and see if anybody else wants to go in there, like, you know, like Wyatt Thompson and Kendorian Davis. If not, we'll just interview your race winner tonight and be done. Yeah, but that was a great race from them, from the 39. Definitely needed that momentum for, especially for tomorrow. It's going to be, you know, very tough for the Cup Series level, and you know, a couple guys won't be showing up, and Fisher, I think he'll have the upper hand, and, you know, he's going to give a real good showing honestly, there at at the Charlotte Oval. It's gonna be one of them races. It's gonna be a longer one, but that's what makes Charlotte all that much more exciting from a race point. All right. Well, it doesn't seem like they want to go in the waiting room, so yeah, we'll just interview Jordan Fisher and be done for the night, because, well, no one else is trying to get an interview, so bring up the number 39. Jordan Fisher, you got us up here at the Universal Broadcasting Network booth. Hello. Yeah, you absolutely knocked it out of the park tonight. How were you able to be so good in the long run and just overall be just dominant today with the amount of laps you led? Yeah, Phoenix is one of those tough tracks, where you have to really save that right front because it's so flat. And we're not going to a flat track tomorrow, Charlotte, for the Cup Series. How you feeling about that one? All right, well, after your performance tonight, you got anyone to thank for that drive of yours? Part-time, so I'm skipping out tonight. I do not want to race Charlotte. So, I mean, it's one of them races. But, it's not like I'm just in here to go for race wins, and, you definitely make it a little more challenging every week. So, well, you know what? We're going to let you go. Go celebrate with your team on this monstrous win of yours, and, hope to see you do good tomorrow. Oh my gosh, hope to see you do good tomorrow night. So, thank you. All right. After a little bit of a stutter fest there, we're gonna get some more interviews going here. Wyatt, Thompson and Kendorian Davis showed up to the booth, and let's get Wyatt Thompson here. Hi, Wyatt Thompson. You make it into the Universal Broadcasting Network booth tonight? Oh, no way. I might have not even had Fisher's interview on. No, you're kidding. I was talking to a brick wall. Fisher, we got to redo your interview.
Really?
I was talking to a brick wall the entire time.
Oh my
The Discord wasn't registering it.
The Discord audio wasn't picking up. Well, give your
Exactly. That's so stupid.
So
we can rerun it, man.
Give your shout outs for tonight, man. You ran an incredible.
Oh,
give him out because you need to do it.
Yes, I want to thank Hardy Designs as always, making awesome liveries week in, week out. Thanks to Grumpy Motorsports continuing to give me this awesome ride and the truck and the Cup Series and this Prestige Series. It's just been lights out, awesome racing. I want to thank my family and friends, everybody that's watching on the stream, and thank the Team Conti Sim Performance guys, Matt Busa helping me out week in, week in, and as well as thank you, Jacob, for broadcasting as always. And yeah, everybody, thank you.
All right, sorry about that. All right, well, back to Wyatt Thompson now. So why
Take care.
Thank you. You too. After your pit lane start, you make your way up to P3 throughout the green flag runs. How challenging was that?
I got a new wheel. The thing's heavy. My shoulder's about to fall off. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get in an ice bath or something tonight. It's gonna be crazy. But that's good racing. I appreciate it going green the whole way. Actually being able to see what pace that everyone had. It was a good run by Jordan, especially Ken. They're doing good. I appreciate the racing.
Yeah. Well, Phoenix is always just one of them races where it's hit or miss. You either see a lot of wrecks or, little wrecks. Were you shocked that we went flag to flag?
I thought a few times, like when Connor spun on the backstretch, I thought that maybe we were gonna have like a caution, just maybe at least one or two that was gonna get us back re-racked, but we kept on going, and it was honestly nice to be able to run that whole green run and just kind of hang out, just know what you had.
All right. Well, you know what? Give your shout-outs for the night because, you ran a great race. A lot of effort put in to get to third, and, you were hunting down Kendorian, obviously, but just not enough time. But give your shout-outs for tonight. You had a great run.
I want to thank Web Farm for sponsoring me in the truck series for the upcoming races. Thank you to Prestige for sponsoring me. Thank you, Connor, for keeping me entertained during that long drug out race. It was a tough time in there, but yeah, thank you for streaming. The racing has been good. I really appreciate this league, the way it's going.
All right. Well, you're already here. So, are you excited about the new Xfinity car? Or the Xfinity car being switched over?
I did some testing in it. Made kind of a makeshift setup, and it honestly runs pretty good. As long as the setup's loose, I think it's going to be great racing.
Yeah, well, you can hope, with Kendorian reaching out to, I would assume, a setup shop to help with them setup. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to that too next season if we come back along here for next season, which hoping we will, because I've really enjoyed the racing so far this season, and yeah, I hope to see you shine out tomorrow night. Correct?
I'll try my best. I can't guarantee nothing.
It's Charlotte. Anybody can win. Well, not anybody, but it's one of those races where it's long and drug out. So, all right, see you tomorrow night.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the stream.
All right, no problem. All right, next we're gonna go interview your second place finisher, Kendorian Davis. Also, the last interview of the night. Kendorian Davis, welcome to the Universal Broadcasting Network booth. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing fine. It just seems like you were in Jordan's shadow almost the entire race. What was just your strategy going into today?
Well, the thing is, like, when we first started the race, I think I may have oversaved. And once I actually started pushing, I was running them back down. But over a run, we just even out, and the pace was just, we couldn't get away from each other. We would just stay dead locked in the position we were in.
Yeah, it's the price you pay. Tire saving is a very tedious game. It's like it's repetitive in a way, but it's like you have to be able to be like you have to use your brain to like your fullest. Like what's pushing it too much? What's going back too much? So, can you actually run us through like your race in general tonight? Just how were you able to stay so consistent? Even getting tonight a P2. Just how were you able to stay consistent the whole race?
Well, I was like, Phoenix is one of my best tracks. First off, I really love how the cars handle here, how the trucks handle. So I was expecting to have a good run. It's just that over that run, I kind of I misjudged where I needed to save and where I shouldn't have saved this much. That really screwed me over for the night. I believe I had the truck to win over a run, but I just didn't execute right.
All right. Well, you got anybody shout out? Like your guys there at Mach 5, and because you guys work so well with each other every week. I don't get it.
Yeah, I definitely would like to shout out my entire group over there at Mach 5 Racing, my good friend JJ Moore, and definitely like to shout out you guys for doing this broadcast, for making all this possible. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we try. We want to. Honestly, I think it would be nice to see those Legacy Xfinity cars in action at some point. So, we'll see if we get that far. But, yeah, so, congrats on the P2 tonight. So, leave you to go celebrate with your team and have a good night.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Dorian Davis, your P2 finisher tonight in the 24 truck. So tonight was quite the interesting one here at Phoenix. You went flag to flag. It's just green flag running the entire time. Went flag to flag. Couple of mishaps. Saw some incredible drives from multiple drivers. Tyler Helms had a really bad day due to that drive-through that just plagued him early on. But I am Jake McQuill in the booth here for the Universal Broadcasting Network. Catch us on next Wednesday for the for the next race here, the Prestige Truck Series. We enjoy doing these races all the time. You can catch us this Friday night for the Contender Series Championship in the Universal iRacing Series, and Saturday night for the Cup. The Cup Championship. It'll be an incredible one. Will Finnegan Myers defend his title, or will we see a sneaky second championship from Logan Brink? Once again, I had fun doing this broadcast for all of you tonight, and it's Jacob Quill signing off tonight at Phoenix.